Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and it's been a while since I talked about things that I hate, at least in this format. I used to kind of do this recurring thing where I kind of ranted about things that I had on my mind, things that I currently hate, and I figured fall 2019, winter is right around the corner. I hate winter, so what better time to complain about stuff that I don't like than fall. This isn't actually making the list, but it's fall, y'all. Can we stop saying that and stop putting pumpkin spice on pillows and every little thing ever? We get it. It's fall. Pumpkins and leaves and oh my goodness, basic white girl summer. That should be a song. Since my main channel just turned 10 years old, the invasion of older styles of videos that I used to make where I just didn't seem to give as much of a damn were a lot more fun in retrospect, and I want to start making some more of those again. So if you want to see more rants like this in the future, today I'm talking about my top 8 things that I hate for fall of 2019. Then press the like button on this video, subscribe, and join the neighborhood so you don't miss out on more stuff like this in the future. Back in my day, Tik Tok was just a Kesha song. These kids will never understand. God, that made me sound old. But yeah, Tik Tok, what the hell? I don't understand the rise of this app. I mean, I understand what it is. I've seen enough commentary videos on it to not want to spend too much time here. But honestly, even after sitting down to watch some compilations of things, I just am kind of mystified at the fact that this is what's holding the attention of kids. I know that makes me sound old again, but still. The cringe is absolutely unreal. If you're not familiar, then it's like Musical.ly, that old app where people would like lip sync has transformed and morphed into TikTok. And people are doing not just lip sync and duet and all these other things that I don't fully understand as an old man that likes to yell at the sky, but I also see a lot of like cringy like country accents and people trying to reenact things, and songs are starting to take off from TikTok, and it's not normally a good thing. What's even cringier is when I see bands like, say, 3 Days Grace, or even a new band that I really like White Reaper, joining up on TikTok just to grasp at some relevancy on there. Hey kids, you want to come listen to my music in my van? TikTok may be the enemy, but it's also the users that lie within that are incredibly facepalm worthy. I mean, the whole VSCO girl, E-boy movement. I heard somebody describe Eboys as the current emos, and I just wanted to slap them in the face because that is such a middle finger to people who actually were in the emo or goth community even a decade or two ago. The kids might be cringy, but then again, they're just kids. What's even worse is the boomer humor that I've seen on there. It's out of control. The baby boomers, the people around between the ages of 50 to 75 are hopping on TikTok to talk about politics and other things that kids just won't understand. It was so much better. And maybe you've got some valid points, but the way they go about it makes me just want to throw myself into a live volcano. I can easily sum it all up in a few words though. Fuck TikTok, and I will never ever in my life use this app. What, were you waiting for a cutaway for me to start using the app like it was an ironic commentary on it? No! I'm never using it! Thing I hate number 2, fall 2019. Pay-to-play shows for local bands. You might have heard the term pay-to-play before. Maybe a smaller band or artist that you follow has complained about it on social media. I don't blame them for complaining one bit because it's terrible the way that venues are kind of screwing these young or else small bands out of cash. So listen, here's how it works. A local band, they're like, all right, we're going to play this venue. We're going to play a show, and guess what? The venue's cool with it. You're going to open for this somewhat bigger band. And then, oh, here comes the catch. You're gonna play, and we're gonna give you exposure, but you have to buy a ton of tickets from the venue, and then you have to pester the hell out of your friends to sell enough just to make back what you spent buying the tickets so that you could pay to play the show. Listen, if everybody's on the same wavelength, then it's okay, I suppose. If a band is going to play a free show, they know that they're not going to get compensated. But the problem here is that it's a growing trend, not just in my state, the local scene, North Carolina, but it's really all across the United States. I don't know if this is a problem in other countries or not, but I've seen it more and more before, that the venue tries to essentially dangle the donut over them at the end of the treadmill, and they're like, run, 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 you're gonna get exposure, you're gonna get new fans, and that's not really how it works in this day and age. You could argue that maybe they're gonna pick up some traction. Maybe if they open for a big enough band, then they're gonna get a little bit of exposure. Maybe somebody will buy a CD or a shirt or check them out on Spotify and become a lifelong fan. But that doesn't pay the bills. That doesn't pay for when the van breaks down. Pay to play is bullshit. Here's the thing, in most fields, you know that if you're providing a good or service, aka playing live music, then there should be some sort of compensation involved or something that you've agreed upon. Maybe you bartered, I don't know, maybe you're stuck in the 1700s. Let me be clear, exposure is not equivalent to payment. That goes out to you as well, all of the Instagram models out there. Oh, I'll tag you in the post, you'll get some new followers. That's great. Exposure for you. Well, look at that. Exposure did nothing for me. I've got plenty of Instagram followers and I haven't received a dime for that, so if I'm getting paid in exposure, then God, I'm broke. Holy shit, I'm gonna lose the house. Pay your local bands, buy merch, buy whatever you want to support them, listen to their music on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, support your local artists because sometimes just know that they're not getting paid. Do I even need to say anything here to anybody out there who's still lost in La La Land supporting this clown, this fucking asshole? Then that's all on you and your own personal deluded conscience. How could I not hate somebody so evil, so xenophobic, homophobic, racist, and other things? And I know that you're gonna pull out that card and say, oh, he's not racist, that's just the mainstream media's lie. Actions speak louder than words. I don't care about the bias of a certain news network because they all have them, whether they want to admit it or not. I care about what I continue to see over and over and over again. Impeach the asshole and all of his friends. Twitter twatter, you old bastard, you got me talking about you again. I left Twitter about 3 months ago, as most of you probably know, if you keep up with me outside of YouTube at all. I still post my videos on there and stuff, but it's been more than 3 months now since I've checked notifications at all, read through my timeline, which I've seen just from some of the top tweets when I get on to actually post my videos and stuff. It looks like it's all fucked up and out of control, like stuff from other people's likes and mentions and everything like that that I could never give a shit about is all in there. I haven't checked notifications, I haven't checked anything that's going on in my timeline. I simply don't care. I realized that there was so much more than oversharing every thought that I ever have on Twitter. Not that I always did that, but I just feel that that's what so many people do. You gotta post about everything. You gotta say your opinion on this. Keep some thoughts to yourself. It's okay to internalize sometimes. You don't always have to spout out to get some likes or some retweets because Twitter is such a fucking cesspool, man. I can't stand it. You go on Twitter and you're just going to see a bunch of negativity, people trying to drag other people down for a little bit of clout that'll last, what, maybe a day or two at tops? I still check my DMs from time to time just because there are fellow creators that will sometimes reach out to me or I need to talk to them about something, so obviously that's a good tool, that's fine. I still post stuff on there because I think it's a good way to share out my content or maybe something that I do want to announce or an opinion that I genuinely want to share, but it's been so nice to just not feel that burden of feeling like I need to read through every reply and I need to argue and get into fights. Get off of Twitter. Live your life. Just try it for like a week, and I promise you'll be a lot happier. It's worked for me tenfold. YouTube comments, you are absolutely garbage now. Holy shit. Go into the comment section of any video, and you're already gonna do it on this video. I know. You're not clever because you do this, but it's like, oh, every setup ever is the same old meme format. It goes, no one, or else no one, not a single soul, me, blank, punchline borrowed from the video, or a quote, wow, you're so creative and inventive. It's either that or the aw shit, here we go again meme that is just burned into the ground. It's like you burned down the building about 100 times and you keep going back inside expecting to find something new. There's nothing new here. There's not a creative thing in sight. We've innovated so much in the past 10 years, but I could go back to YouTube or Reddit or really anywhere in 2010 and find genuine discussion or else things relating to the videos back then. And now it's just memes and everything repeating itself. I looked at the Stranger Things Season 4 reveal trailer or the little teaser, and every comment was in that exact format. And it's not just that, it's like every YouTube video ever now. It drives me insane. I can't find anything relating to these videos. Also relating to YouTube, they can go fuck themselves for a myriad of reasons, and the most aggravating thing to me is not only the fact that they attempted to remove my verified mark on both of my channels, although they reversed that decision, and not only the fact that they now have abbreviated sub counts, which no one asked for, no one in their right mind at least. No, I'm talking about the YouTube recommendations. I cannot for the life of me find new content to watch on YouTube. All it does is over and over again recommend me videos that I've already watched, like all the way through or most of the way through, or maybe I clicked on it and then clicked off because I didn't like the video. All my recommendations, the home feed is red bar videos that shows I've already watched most of the video. It repeats itself, and every fucking day I go through and say, not interested, tell us why. Because I've already watched the video. Got it, we'll tune your recommendations. Have they done it? Not once, over and over again. And I know it's not just me, because obviously people around me, friends, girlfriend, everybody in my life is like, I can't get anything on YouTube. And it sucks as a creator because I know that means my video's probably not going out to as many people because they're like, hey, remember this video that you already watched? Hey, why don't you watch it again and again and again? Speaking of, oh shit, here we go again, it's cancel culture. Indeed, yes, the idea of canceling someone hunting for sport. That's all this is at this point. There was a very important thing going on with the Me Too movement, but it's been soured so much because we got a lot of the real predators out there out of the way, and now it's like, oh, we had a bad breakup, so now I'm just gonna like cancel you because I don't feel that you're a good person. It's so infuriating because there's so many cases that are being proven false, or at least a good portion of the story was twisted beyond belief to make the original thing not even make sense or not make it that serious. These allegations that come out like all the time, especially in the world of music, consistently get proven to be false or else, again, twisted. Yet people don't see the follow-up story. Instead, it's just the band was ruined, the career was over before they even had a chance to defend themselves. The labels cut ties, the venues cut ties, and that's that. How is it so easy for some people to lose their career, yet then the real monsters, like say R. Kelly, for example, can't get canceled for the longest time? I mean, how long did that dude keep going? I want to do a full video on problems I have with cancel culture. If you would like to see that and more in-depth scripted thoughts, because I think this is a very, very tricky subject that I want to make sure I get right if I do a full deep dive on it, then let me know in the comment section down below. The worst part about cancel culture for me is the fact that not only are these careers getting ruined, but it makes the real victims out there look less believable, and it's harder for a lot of people to accept their stories. And I hate that because it is true that that does happen. It casts a shadow of doubt on it. It's like, okay, well, this guy was lying or this girl was lying, so why are we going to believe this other story that seems similar when this other story might totally be true? It's so fucked up, and we really need to get ourselves in check because it dates back to Twitter. Do we really just want to bring people down instead of, at the very least, trying to educate them? Some people are probably beyond education, trust me, I know. But also at the same time, is it really worth getting so worked up in trying to just push it out there and bring somebody down for a few shares, retweets, whatever? We're nearing the end of the video here. Streaming and certifications are up 7th on the agenda. These haven't been in any particular order in terms of what I hate more or what's under my skin more, but streaming and certifications from Billboard and RIAA, of course, that's the abbreviation for something that I'm gonna throw up on screen here, is really just a little bit ludicrous at this point. I see all of these rappers and pop stars touting around their plaques and like, oh, I can't believe my album went platinum or gold or even double platinum. And it's like, Okay, well, they count track equivalents now. The T, if you will, TEA, is actually track equivalent albums. And then you've got your streaming equivalent albums. And streaming makes sense, but just an individual track, a sale on iTunes, or now they start to count more and more, give a little bit more clout to the idea that people are streaming one song from an album. You're telling me that even though one song carried the entire weight of the other tracks, and the others could have like 10 streams, and the other could have 100 million, that these people are getting like certified platinum albums for something that most people weren't even listening to beyond 1 to 2 songs. It's not fair, honestly, and it makes the old certifications, the albums that actually did earn that, get to 5 million sales, pure copies, look really bad and tacky in comparison, because you could be like, oh, well, this SoundCloud rapper or this mainstream pop artist, they got a 5-time certified platinum song or album. And it's like, well, so did this artist back in the day. But they actually did it with people actually paying money for it instead of just possibly passively listening. Enjoy your fake platinum plaques, not that they're actually fake. I mean, they're real, they're being handed out. Your album is technically certified platinum or gold or whatever, but it's not really, in my mind. I mean, I don't really accept the fact that 1 to 2 songs can count for an entire record going that way. Certify the song all you want, but the album, not fair. I know it's not weighted as heavily on the track equivalent, but still, you know it boosts up those numbers big time. Finally, the last thing that I have to touch on today is an over-reliance on nostalgia. And look what I'm wearing. Some people are going to be like, oh, Stranger Things does that.
No.
You know, you could start off there and say that, but I feel that Stranger Things and a lot of other 80s or 90s themed things have gone beyond the idea of just nostalgia. Yes, it looks cool. Oh, a neon sign. That's great. And it looks aesthetically pleasing. But is there actually something there beyond that? And with Stranger Things, obviously, since I'm wearing and have bought the shirt, I would say yes. But a lot of other things, a lot of other programs, music and stuff, absolutely fucking not. One of the things that really peeved me recently is the new season of American Horror Story, 1984. It's an anthology series. Every year it's different, yet every year they drop the ball harder and harder. It's like, what are these try-hard plots with these faux edgy characters that are just trying so hard to be some sort of quirk or something, and like, oh, they've got this going on, so that makes them an interesting character. No, and in 1984, this season in particular, it's absolutely boiling my blood that people are just loving this so much. It's like, oh, so much praise, 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, audiences love it everywhere. And it's relying entirely on nostalgia. It's recreating these themes, and they show the villains so much in the first episode. What is there to be scared of? There is nothing to be scared of, and people are like, oh, it's so good, I love 80s horror flicks. It does nothing to move the dial beyond that. They're paying homage, and it's literally like shot-for-shot recreations. The characters are all detestable. They're all terrible. I was literally sitting there thinking, are they really trying to make some sort of statement here? Is it intentionally campy? Are they aware of how awful they're acting and being? I hated everyone, and none of the decisions made any sense. So yes, it feels like it's trying to be exactly the 1980s horror film, but it has no real edge to it whatsoever. Obviously, I think a lot of things from those decades are still fantastic and hold up well, and yes, maybe some of that is nostalgia. But new bands, new artists, new creators, new directors, just solely relying on the fact that, oh look, we placed this thing that's from the 1980s and 80s aesthetics are cool. I mean, what did you do to make it your own? Nothing. Whew, feel like I just tossed a hand grenade off the back of my shoulders there. I feel a lot better now that all of that is off my chest. I hope you enjoyed this list of my top 8 things that I'm hating this fall 2019. I would love to know, what do you think of these things? Do you have any extra commentary that you would like to add? Feel free to leave a sophisticated comment down below, not one of the predictable ones that starts with no one, because I almost want to ban those words from the comments. I see them all the time. Thank you so much for watching this long-winded video, but it feels good to be back in the driver's seat of stuff like this. I really enjoyed making this video. It was very cathartic in a lot of ways, and it took me back to my roots in some ways. So anyways, hope you enjoyed. If you did, press the like on this video, subscribe for the love of music, join the neighborhood, become a neighbor today. All you gotta do is hit that little button below the video player.